Today's story is about two classmates who didn't like each other at all. But circumstances locked them in such a place where even surviving was very difficult. And they were stuck together for months on an island. How they survived on that island and what kind of chaos they created with each other. We'll see all that in today's full story. So today's story begins by showing us a beautiful girl named Emma who wakes up early in the morning to get ready for school. Emma is a very good and famous student in her school who has many friends. On the other hand, we see Dean, a very lazy boy compared to Emma. He wakes up late in the morning, goes straight to the bathroom, and after brushing, immediately starts playing video games. Then his father Jack tells him that he'll be late for school. Meanwhile, we see Emma and her younger sister Stacy, who are being dropped off at school by their mother Barbara. After that, Emma reaches school and meets her best friend Liz. And while they were talking, a student named Stephen comes and says hi to Emma. Seeing this, Liz starts teasing Emma. That same day in class, Mr. Christensen, who is their teacher, announces that the bus will leave next morning at 7 o'clock sharp for a trip to Trinity Island. Emma arrives late to class, and right behind her, Dean enters and bumps into Emma, calling her princess sarcastically while saying sorry. Then when Mr. Christensen is giving more details about the trip, Liz tells Emma that Dean is also going on the trip because of his father's money. Now during lunch, Liz tells her friends about what happened between Emma and Stephen in the morning, and says that during the trip, they'll have a whole week to cast their magic and get Emma and Stephen to have some action. But Emma says that they should stop this nonsense and focus on the trip. While they were all talking, Emma notices Dean, who is cutting an apple with a knife. Shortly after, Ms. Collier, a teacher, comes to Dean and scolds him for bringing a knife to school, and takes him to the principal's office. Then Liz tells her friends that Emma shouldn't hang around guys like Dean when a hot guy like Stephen is interested in her. The next morning, Emma gets ready for the trip and thanks her mom Barbara and dad Phil for letting her go. On the other side, Dean doesn't want to go on the trip, so his father Jack reminds him how hard he worked to get Dean a spot on the trip even after he broke school rules. So finally, Dean agrees to go. Then we see Mr. Christensen telling everyone to get on the bus. While boarding, Stephen asks Emma how she's doing, which makes Liz tease Emma again, but Emma ignores her. Soon they reach Trinity Island, and while getting off the bus, Ms. Collier tells everyone they can enjoy some time in the pool, but they should all be back before dinner because the program will start the next day. After a while, Emma and her friends go to the pool, where Emma meets Stephen and everyone starts having fun together in the pool. But Dean watches all of this alone from the balcony. That evening, Emma's friend Liz comes and tells her that Stephen has invited them to a party. A local party is happening on a boat nearby, but Emma refuses to go after hearing this. However, her friends insist and finally convince her. After that, they all head to the boat for the party, and once they reach there, Emma starts looking for Helen. But just then, she sees Stephen kissing another girl. Seeing this, Emma starts to walk away, and from the side, Dean is also watching all of this. Dean then says to Emma, "Your boyfriend is having fun," to which she replies, "This has nothing to do with you." Suddenly, the police arrive because they had found out that students were using drugs at the party. Just then, Emma slips and falls into the water, and Dean sees her falling. He immediately jumps into the water to save her and brings her onto a small boat. That boat was tied to the main boat with a rope, so Dean cuts the rope. When Emma asks why, he says, "I don't want to get involved with the police. Once they leave, we'll go back to the main boat." But within a short time, that boat goes far away from them, and suddenly a storm starts to build up. Suddenly, a huge wave comes from the front, and both of them tightly hold onto the boat. After that, it becomes morning, and due to the waves, they have now reached somewhere in the Arabian Sea along with the boat. Dean's phone was already dead, so he asks Emma to give her phone. But Emma's phone had no network either. While they're talking, suddenly Emma sees an island at a distance. Dean then starts rowing the boat toward the island. After a lot of struggle, both of them finally reach the island. Once they arrive, Emma checks her phone for network again, but there's still no signal. Then Dean finds a flare gun on the boat and takes it with him. Both of them start walking forward, hoping that they'll find some help ahead. Meanwhile, back at the hotel, due to last night's party, Mr. Christensen cancels the trip. At that moment, Liz tells Ms. Collier that she hadn't returned to the hotel, and Liz assumed that maybe Emma was with someone else last night. So she didn't tell anyone. She says that the last time she saw Emma was on the party boat. After that, Mr. Christensen starts taking attendance, and he finds out that Dean is also missing. This makes them realize that both Dean and Emma are missing from the group. Then the police arrive and start questioning Emma's friends. The police say that such cases happen often, and maybe they'll return on their own. When Dean's father finds out that his son is missing, he immediately goes to the school. There he meets Emma's mother Barbara, and at the same time Phil also arrives. All of them, worried and anxious, go to the principal to ask about the missing children. But the principal is unable to give a proper answer. Meanwhile, Emma and Dean were walking ahead, and after walking a bit, they come across a beautiful waterfall in the jungle. Dean likes it a lot and asks Emma to take a picture of him, but she refuses. She says, "We are stuck here and you're enjoying it. I needed good grades from this trip for my project. I have to study at Princeton University, and if we don't get out of here soon, everything will be ruined." After that they move on. A few hours later they reach the edge of the island. But they still hadn't found any way out or any help. Seeing this, they decide to return to the boat. When they go back to the shore, they see that the boat is no longer there. The ocean waves had carried the boat away, and now only a life jacket is left. We then see that after walking all day, they were exhausted and the sun sets. Dean lights a fire, and both of them decide to spend the night there. Dean sees that Emma is feeling cold, so he takes off his shirt and gives it to her. Then they start talking, saying, "Maybe by tomorrow our parents will find and rescue us." The next morning, Dean wakes up and notices that Emma isn't there. He goes searching for her and sees that she's writing us on the beach. He asks her, "What are you doing?" Emma replies, "I'm trying to save our lives." On the other side, Mr. Christensen tells the parents at the hotel that the police are searching for Dean and Emma. The police have found a small boat, which they believe the two of them might have been on. Jack then says, "If the police can't do anything, then we can hire a private rescue team." But Mr. Christensen says, "The police are doing their job well." Meanwhile, we see Emma drinking water, and suddenly she starts feeling strange. Feels like someone is nearby watching her. She gets scared and leaves the place. After that, both of them build a small shelter out of leaves to protect themselves from the sun. Later, Emma writes a large SOS on the beach again, hoping that a rescue team passing by would be able to spot it. Then they start eating whatever they can find on the island. Dean finds a banana tree, so he picks bananas and they both eat as much as they can. The island is very hot, and Emma can't wear her full pants anymore. So she cuts her pants short to make them into shorts. Later, Emma sees Dean sleeping inside the hut, so she also goes and lies down beside him. Suddenly, Dean turns towards Emma and puts his hand on her. But Emma doesn't mind it. In fact, she likes it and doesn't say anything. The next day, while Emma is bathing at the waterfall, Dean comes and asks her for sunscreen. Emma tells him, "I'm taking a bath. Go to the other side." Dean replies, "You were the one who asked me to stand guard." Meanwhile, at the hotel, Barbara is extremely worried about Emma. The news announces that the case of Emma and Dean's disappearance has now become official, and the police believe they may be dead. Now they're searching for their bodies. Phil prepares to return home because Emma's younger sister, Stacy, is alone at home. But Barbara is still crying deeply. Phil hugs her and says, "Emma will be found." Jack takes the helicopter and goes out again with Barbara to search for Emma and Dean. Meanwhile, on the island, night is about to fall. Emma tells Dean how much she misses her family. Just then, Dean finds a human skull, and Emma gets very scared after seeing it. She says, "Maybe this person was trapped here like us, and this is what happened to him. Maybe the same will happen to us too." But Dean tells her, "This could have been a fisherman, or a smuggler who came here and died. But we have our parents behind us. We're not alone. And if we keep standing by each other like this, we will never die here. One day we'll definitely go home." Saying this, he starts kissing Emma. It was the first time Emma had ever kissed anyone, and she liked it. Night had already fallen. And after that, Dean crosses all limits. A storm arrives on the island. And for the first time Emma enjoys it. She's happy. The next morning when Emma wakes up, she sees that Dean isn't around. She starts calling out to him but doesn't find him. Scared, she heads into the jungle to search. A bit ahead, she sees Dean digging a hole. Emma can't understand what he's doing. Just then she slips and falls, hurting her knee. Dean quickly helps her and assures her, "You'll be okay." Later they both go bathe at the waterfall. Dean tells Emma that his mother died in a car accident. Emma listens to him sincerely. Soon it starts raining and Dean begins playing in the rain. Emma smiles watching him. They dance together in the rain, and Dean places a flower in Emma's hair. Emma then says, "I want to feel the storm again." Dean begins preparing to bring the storm again. On the news, it's announced that Emma and Dean have been missing for over a month. The police believe they are no longer alive, so they officially stop the search. But Emma's friend still believes both are alive, and Barbara feels the same. So Barbara and Jack set out once more in a helicopter to find their daughter Emma. They distribute flyers with information about Emma and Dean. After trying everything, Jack tells Barbara, "We've done all we could, but we still haven't found them. Maybe we should go back home." Hearing this, Barbara becomes sad and returns home. Meanwhile, Dean tells Emma about the green light that his mother once told him about. He says it appears at sunset, but he's never seen it. More weeks pass. Emma and Dean begin to enjoy the beautiful island environment. They swim in the sea, have fun, and gradually they become very close to each other. Whenever they feel like it, they enjoy the storm and quake together. After all this, Emma asks Dean, "How was your first time, and who was it with?" Dean replies, "Back in school I had a friend. She was older than me." Dean knew that all of this was Emma's first time, so he asks her, "How did it feel?" She says, "It was nice, but the storm made sand go into all the wrong places." Emma then says, "I want more experience." Dean replies, "Okay." Later they go into the jungle to find fruits. Dean walks a bit ahead and starts picking them. Suddenly they hear the sound of a plane. Both of them rush out into the open. Dean quickly searches Emma's bag for the flare gun to signal the plane, but he can't find it. And before anything can be done, the plane flies far away. Emma starts searching for the flare gun again but can't find it either. She starts to believe someone else is on the island, someone who's stealing their things. Days pass again. Only one plane has flown above them so far. No one has come to rescue them. Sitting inside their hut, they talk, wondering if they should give up hope of going back home, and just decide to live together in this jungle forever. Just then, Dean hears the sound of an animal. He goes into the forest to investigate. Emma becomes worried and follows him. Dean walks a bit ahead, and sees a black panther. He runs. After running far, he suddenly falls to the ground. Emma comes running after him, and sees Dean holding a blood-covered knife. He had killed the Black Panther. We now see that all their friends and families have started to move on with their lives. And here, Emma and Dean have also learned how to survive on the island. They've decided to live here now, because the hope of being rescued is now gone. They've learned how to hunt. They live in their hut, and they spend their days happily with each other, having given up all other hopes. Then one day Emma starts vomiting. Dean asks, "Are you pregnant?" Emma says, "No, it's just random vomiting." To feel better, Emma lies down with Dean. But just then, her lost belongings start falling from above. When they look up, they see a monkey in the tree, throwing their stuff down. And in the monkey's hand is the flare gun, the same one Dean couldn't find that day. Emma shows the monkey a banana. The monkey throws down the gun. Right after that, they hear the sound of a helicopter. They rush into the open space. Emma loads the flare gun and fires it. The helicopter spots them. Finally, they are rescued. 3 months later, they return. At the airport, Emma and Dean's friends and families are thrilled to see them. The parents take them home. That night, Dean visits Emma. They talk about how strange it feels to be back. Dean tries to kiss Emma, but she stops him. She says, "My parents come to check on me every 10 minutes. Maybe you should go for now." The next day at the party, everyone gathers. Emma's parents give a speech about their children's return. Stacy asks Dean, "Why aren't you with everyone?" Dean replies, "I don't like mixing with people much." Dean then signals Emma to come with him, but Emma ignores him. Dean leaves the party. Everything starts becoming normal again. Emma becomes famous after returning from the island. But Dean stays alone. Whenever Emma and Dean pass by each other, they only look at one another, nothing more. A few days later, Emma calls Dean, but he doesn't answer. Stacy goes into Emma's room and says, "After you disappeared, we missed you so much. Mom and Dad were very worried. We thought we had completely lost you. But now, we're all together and very happy." Emma replies, "You're the best sister ever." Then they decide to go to the prom party together. We see Dean visiting his mother's grave. He cries deeply, missing her. On prom night, Dean is watching TV. His father asks, "Will you wear my coat and go to the party?" Meanwhile, Emma arrives at the party with her sister. Liz comes up to her and says she has a surprise. Emma walks outside and sees Dean standing in the rain wearing a coat, waiting for her. She starts remembering everything from the island. Emma goes outside and walks up to Dean. Both of them are happy. And they kiss. And with this emotional scene, the story comes to an end. If you like this emotional survival story, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more such amazing stories.